Holy smokes! Right, wrap it around, come on. Round, come on. Oh, yeah, this is the one I'm dreading. I'm not really sure how to demonstrate the mechanisms of going out the front door intentionally. I mean, I'm more of a side door kind of guy. Back door, not a big fan, but front door though, absolutely not. Come with me on a journey to find out why going out the front door is so popular despite everyone hating it. It's kind of like fast food, I guess. It's just so convenient, you know? Right, let's go. Out the front door. I don't think we're going to need too long for this enigma of mountain bicycling terminology.
Oh my god.
Stupid idea, stupid idea.
I shall arrogantly and confidently assume that most people have heard of the other common expression for this fail by the initialism OTB, or over the bars. Everyone will have seen a textbook OTB performed on video. For some though, the term lacks a bit of je ne sais quoi, and in the UK at least, the phrase arse over tit is deployed when trying to inject some self-deprecating humour into a tale of woe. Bringing doors into the equation is honestly straight out of left field, but it holds a delightful blend of logical compliance and farcical nonsense that makes the conjured image and therefore the phrase stick in one's head. Thinking of a bicycle like a small home with doors on all four sides with the rider just comfortably residing inside until rudely ejected tickles this presenter in all the right places. As you'll have been told many times in your youth, when leaving it open, "Oh, shut the front door!" Anyway, why does it happen? So class, I think we can all agree that the front door is definitely the most feared of all the involuntary exits. And Rendell, what is that? Bring it here. Come on, bring it here. Thank you. Guess the whole class can see this, given it was so important. Mr. Cathro smells like You try liking dairy with a dairy intolerance, then we'll see who smells. Yeah, but you'll be the smelling one. Worth it though. To understand why something happens, it's often good to understand why it doesn't happen. And unlike its sure-footed big brother, the quadricycle, with weight distributed between 4 equally spaced contact points, a bicycle is an inherently unstable vehicle with its frankly pitiful 2 wheels. Granted, it's only unstable in the roll axis, which is nothing compared to its little brother, the unicycle. Whoa! Tricycles choose not to obey the laws of physics, so you'll have to enroll in the advanced class to get a good understanding of quantum mechanics to really figure out what the hell's going on in there. 2 wheels aligned, one in front of the other, with a frame attached to one and a turning fork attached to the other, creates a vehicle that has stability in the pitch and yaw axi. This is because there are 2 separate contact points on each of the axis. Oh, I just realized I've drawn that one wrong. The circle. I'm just going to draw another circle, class. Bear with me, because I'm not going to redraw this entire thing for continuity to start the script again. Wait. Shut up! Rendell! I'm going to tell your mum you've been... I'm going to tell your mum you've been setting fire to the table again. Shut up! This is because there are 2 separate contact points on each of these axi. There and there. That creates the stability. The roll only has 1 contact point. Instability. And that is why bikes do be falling over a lot. Oh! No, 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 no! We'll leave the yaw axis alone for a moment, as it's more of a kind of out the side door contributor, and we'll focus our attention on the pitch. So here's the pitch axis, and here are the 2 contact points on that axis. And in the middle we got Chalky Ben struggling with his impermanence.
Nothing is permanent. Everything comes to an end, and my time is probably soon.
While stationary, the only force acting on the bend bike system is gravity, pulling vertically down towards the center of the earth. Now, Chalky Boy here has a center of mass round about here. I've not drawn it very well, but it's, yeah, round about there, which is roughly perpendicular of the center point between the two wheels. Ish. Close enough, shut up, Rendell. So, shift his weight back, like so. Yep, stay with me. Yep. So that his center of mass ended up, I know it's not right, just trust me. So if it was behind this contact point, this is now a lever for gravity to act upon and cause a rotation around this back wheel. That's a pitch. That's an upward pitch going that way. Yeah? Yeah? That makes sense? So if he was managed to lean, I can actually do that on a hardtail. I can just go lean back and it just goes rip. So if you move your center of mass beyond your contact points, you're going to induce a pitch rotation. So with that knowledge, as long as you keep your center of mass within those two contact points, I mean, you're laughing. Wrong! Life isn't perfect, stuff happens, like you ride off a drop and a step on one of your contact points, it disappears, stability lost, security out the window, old man gravity rubs his knees and a filthy smile on his face, he's like, "Argh," and he starts pushing that centre of mass down, it pivots around the rear wheel as you nosedive past the point of return, you still clean out the front door. Out of the front door, you're just gone, straight out the front door, and then you'll be taught a painful lesson by the floor. Just got a little bit intense and dark in here. Don't worry, the lanky unit, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. A cheeky push forward of the bike can move the center of mass back over the back wheel as you go off of that step or drop, which presents a smaller lever for creepy old man gravity to press on. Panic over. The other classic OTFD maneuver is getting bucked on the takeoff of a jump. It's one of the scariest things to happen on a bicycle, as not only are you crashing over the bars, you're also gaining some altitude before you lawn dart into the deck. When we look at jumping in terms of the center of mass between the two wheels, it gets more than a bit complicated, as jumping is not a simple vertical jumping motion like if you were to stand on the ground and just jump up into the air. It's a complicated absorbing or popping motion that moves rhythmically from the front to the back. The imbalance comes from how much you absorb or pop the front and back wheels. I mean, I go over jumping and the techniques, more detail in the Dead Sailor episode. So check that one out if you want a bit more depth on that topic and to find out what the heck a Dead Sailor even is. Finally, we get to the good old inertia-based rapid front door dismount. Oh, no! Inertia is a stubborn mistress, and when you say stop, she says, ha, no. Or I guess more precisely, when the object you've run your wheel into says stop, your upper body says whee, carries on out the front door. When you observe a bike body system, it's evident that the center of mass is quite high, especially in this example. It's definitely above the axles, which is the important thing in this situation. Under rapid deceleration situations with minimum preparation, the rider's center of mass exerts a force upon the bike in the direction it was previously moving, directly from the center of mass. Drew it right that time. The severity of the deceleration depends on the object that you've hit, but if the bike decelerates to a full stop, the kinetic energy of everything above the line of the axles will cause a downward pitch rotation around the front axle, and if the mass and speed were high enough, will culminate in a tasty over the bars. Rotate to the face.
Oh no! Oh!
It could also cause the rider to just crumple into the bike, weight shifts forward, compromising their weight distribution, and then cause the rider to leave their cozy little bike house through the front exit. Now let's clear the board and check out how the folks at home are getting on with this manoeuvre. So Ollie Lamas, he works at Pinkbike, he's Canadian. It'll be Lamas. And then here's this guy, he's on the bridge, but no, oh! Okay, that happened rather suddenly, and he's not happy about it. I don't think that's Ollie, that must be one of his mates, so I hope you asked your mate before you submitted it. But let's take a closer look. So he's up on the bridge, he's scooting along, he's happy as Larry, and he's going off the drop at the end here. Let's creep things forward. Yep, he's pushed, but, and the but is exactly what I'm interested in here. It's definitely touching wheel. And if butt is touching tyre, it's not a good time. First contact has been made. The aliens are not happy with what they've seen and are promptly going to leave. I don't know which one is the alien in this situation. Probably the tyre. Anyway, this creates a braking force. You put your bum on your back wheel, it stops the wheel. If the wheel is still on the drop, so the wheel is in contact with the ground, it's going to decelerate you. And if your front wheel is off the ground, like this guy is here, then the bike is just going to rotate forward and that front wheel is going to drop at a vicious rate. And if you're in there for long enough, that front wheel is going to drop far enough that you're going over the bars, bro. I mean, look at him, it's got his weight right back there. It's like, there's no way he's going over the bars. But the further back you lean, often, the more chance you're going to go over the bars. It's such a weird conflict. It's like, it doesn't make sense. On the run up, it was clear that he was wanting to drop off of this feature. So to drop off safely at low speed without contacting bum to back tire, you either need to do like a manualing technique to pick the front up, which isn't recommended, or you need to get further forward to give you more push with the arms. So you can see he's reasonably centered, but you actually want to get your chest like right down and forward onto the bars so you can proper push that bike fully off of the drop like that, like right on the bars, and then it gives you the most amount of movement to push the bike off the drop. You do that, you're not going to hit your bum off your back wheel. Guaranteed, 100%, and that you can take to the bank. So now we're going for a little bit of tasty onboard, and given this is the Over the Bars episode, prepare yourself for the visceral outcome here. That was quite the Over the Bars. It's He was quite happy about that outcome. Apparently good, he didn't break both his wrists. Excellent outcome. If we get a little bit CSI and we look at the shadow on the ground next to this guy here who's just chilling, wondering what delights he's about to see. The shadow, you can see between the two wheels, his weight is pretty far forward. I would say like his center of mass is maybe around about there. And really, like when you're going off a jump and you're jumping up into the air, your weight should probably be a little bit back of center to really loft the front and get like a nice even jump. So his weight should have been further back. And because of that, it's meant he's induced a forward rotation. And the interesting thing is that if we actually watch his front wheel, it's kind of irrelevant. Don't worry about it. But if we actually watch his front wheel in the air, once he starts rotating, his front wheel stops going forward and just sort of hangs in the same point in the air. Stays there as he comes around and cases the back of the jump with his handlebars. I've never seen that before. Bizarre. And then yeah, good dismount. He manages to catch the backside of the landing on his body and doesn't die. Good job, Tom. This looks like one of those classic features in like a skill area that people go, yeah, it's only the height of a wall, I'll give that a go, but it's quite narrow. If you're nervous, you've got a lot to think about in the way in, and I feel like Daniel here gets a little distracted. Let's see what he does. Oh, it's slow motion. Here he comes. I get a drink. Yep, he's still going. Right, he's at it. Right, pop. That is a late pop. That is a very, oh no. Daniel, no. Oh. So I'm gonna scroll forward until we get to the moment that Daniel tries to kind of unweight the bike to go off the drop. So it happens here. Now, zoom in, enhance. His wheel is already going off the drop when he tries to pop. When you pop, even if it's not a great one, it's like a two-wheel just unweight, your wheels have to be on the ground for it to do anything. So he tries to pop as his front wheel's going off the edge. And what this does is it puts a bit of energy into the back wheel. So the back wheel's getting loaded up, with suspension's coiling up, there's a little bit of potential energy in there, and he would have generated some upward momentum with his body for the bike to come with him. But the front wheel's not on the ground. So what happens is all that energy he's putting into the bike makes the front wheel go down real fast. And it go down real fast. Oh boy. Wow. And because the back wheel's still on the ramp, it just pivots around that back wheel, full on rotation, just, oh. It's amazing how just like 0.1 of a second in timing can be a nice fun drop to, ow, big scare, ooh. Next up we have a submission from this guy. I forgot to write it down here, so I didn't catch his name. It looks like it's of his buddy, Jackson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, indeed. He looks like he's not bad actually. Probably think about racing, he could probably do quite well. But he definitely didn't do this bit well. Ah, what happened? It looks like Jackson's back wheel hits something in this corner, steps it out just a little bit, but then the back wheel catches a big edge. And when it hits that edge, and we talked about the kind of inertia based over the bars, where if the bike stalls, your body wants to just keep going forward, and it can cause a forward rotation. So Jackson has that happen, but he's a strong kid, so it doesn't really kick him too much. But then what happens is it kicks enough that we get the classic butt to back wheel contact, and that is proper. That back wheel looks like it's proper buried itself deep in Jackson's butt. And if you've ever done a jump and you're in the air and you pull on the brake, it pitches you forward. So he's in the air, tire into butt, locks it up, and it just, yeah, forward rotation. The nasty forward rotation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so to fix that, you probably would come into it a little bit slower. What were you doing? Were you trying to win a race or something? Like, Jesus Christ, mate. I feel like that was an unlucky one, just the way it stepped out. Maybe try being taller, have a bit more room, that would help. Maybe run a 26-inch wheel. Maybe have like slippy pants. So like, even if it hits, the tire hits you, there's no friction there, you know, like Teflon pants. So it just kept spinning. Maybe slow down your rebound on the shock. Maybe we should finish on that.
You have to go way faster than that, Ben.
Couldn't commit to just going straight over the bars. I've got to have my knee pads on. Nope.